Last two classes we have seen about insulin and its preparation. So in this class we are going to see other anti-diabetic agents. So first we'll see what is an anti-diabetic agent. These are the drugs that are having ability to lower the blood glucose level. So they have the capacity to lower the blood glucose levels. They are otherwise called as hypoglycemic agents or anti-hyperglycemic agents. They are used in the treatment of diabetes mellitus and are given orally. Now we'll see the types of anti-diabetic agents. There may be 7 types. First one is called sulphonyl ureas. This would be again classified into 2 more types. One is first generation, another one is called second generation. So the examples for first generation sulphonyl ureas are carbutamide, tolbutamide, chlorpropamide, tolazamide, acetohexamide. Under second generation sulphonyl ureas, glibenclamide, otherwise glyburide, glipizide, glyclazide, glimepiride are coming. Second type is meglitinides. Under that, repaglinide and natiglinide are coming. Third one is biguanides. Examples are metformin, penformin, buformin. Fourth one is thiazolidine diones. Examples are rosiglitazone, pioglitazone, siglitazone, troglitazone. Fifth is alpha glucosidase inhibitors. Examples are acarbose, oglibose, miglitol. Then aldose reductase inhibitors. Examples are sorbinil, tolrestat. The last one is miscellaneous. Examples are siglitazone, linoglyceride, pyroglyceride, palmoxivate sodium. Now we'll see the first type under anti-diabetic agent, that is sulphonyl ureas. So what are sulphonyl ureas? From the name itself we can say it is having urea structure. What is urea? NH2CONH2, and that one is connected with the sulphone. What is sulphone? SO2. So these are modified derivatives of sulfonamide. What is meant by sulfonamide? SO2NH2 is called sulfonamide. So these are modified derivatives of sulfonamides. They are having urea structure. So it is a urea derivative with aryl sulphonyl group. So one end is connected with aryl. This is an aromatic ring. So aromatic sulphonyl group in first position, and third position is connected with an aliphatic group. So this aromatic ring is having one substitution. Here, this substituent that is responsible for the duration of action. So what is the structure for sulphonyl urea? General structure. It is a urea derivative, so it is having urea. First nitrogen is connected with a sulphone. That sulphone is connected with one aromatic ring, and that one is having substitution. And third nitrogen of urea is having one substitution, that may be alkyl or cyclic. Both the groups, both the substituents would be a lipophilic one. This is responsible for duration of action. We'll see the mechanism of action of sulphonyl ureas. So already we have known pancreas is having beta cells of islets of Langerhans, and from that only what we are getting? Insulin. So we'll see how insulin would be secreted. So from the beta cells of pancreas, this beta cells that will metabolize the glucose that is present in the mitochondria. So on metabolism, what happens? That will produce ATP. So that increases the intracellular ratio of ATP. This causes the closure of ATP sensitive potassium channels that are present on the cell membrane. So it causes the closure of potassium channel. Why that would be closed? Because that is an ATP sensitive one. So that is the action of beta cells of islets of Langerhans. What is that? First, they metabolize the glucose that is present in the mitochondria and will produce ATP. So the production of ATP, that would be increased. So that causes increase in the intracellular ratio of ATP-ADP. This causes the closure of potassium channels that are present on the plasma membrane. Why that would be closed? Because this channel would be a ATP sensitive one. Now we are going to see the mechanism of action of sulphonyl ureas. Already we have known from where we are getting insulin. Insulin is secreted from the beta cells of islets of Langerhans. So how it is secreted? We'll see that This beta cells of islets of Langerhans that will metabolize glucose that is present in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is having glucose that is metabolized by means of beta cells of islets of Langerhans, and on metabolism it will produce ATP. So the ATP that would be increased. So this increases the intracellular ratio of ATP ADP. So that ratio also would be increased, and that causes the closure of potassium channels. Why the potassium channels would be closed? Because that they are ATP sensitive. So that's why the ATP sensitive potassium channels would be closed that are present on the plasma membrane. This ATP sensitive potassium channel is an octamer heterocomplex, and that is having two units of binding sites. So it is having two binding sites. So one binding site is for binding with ATP, another binding site is for binding with sulphonyl urea. So this is the ATP binding site. First one is the ATP binding site, another one is a sulphonyl urea binding site. So that is called as sulphonyl urea receptor. Where that is present? That is present in ATP sensitive potassium channel. Now after taking this drug, what happens? The sulphonyl urea binds with the sulphonyl urea receptor that is present in potassium channel, that is an ATP sensitive one. So same as that of this one, same as that of beta cells of islets of Langerhans, what happens? The ATP production would be increased and the intracellular ratio would be increased. So that causes the closure of potassium channel. So similar to this, same as that of that, what happens? This ATP sensitive potassium channels that are present on the plasma membrane would be closed. So that causes the closure of potassium channels, which depolarizes the cell by preventing potassium from entering. So potassium will not be able to enter the channel, and this depolarization opens the calcium channels. So that causes the calcium channels to open. So that would be opened. So what happens? The calcium ions would be entered. Finally, that causes increased intracellular calcium and causes an alteration in cytoskeleton and stimulates the translocation of insulin containing granules to the plasma membrane, and finally the insulin would be released. So that's all about the mechanism of action of sulphonyl ureas. We'll see diagrammatically. So we'll summarize that now. So the beta cells of islets of Langerhans metabolize the glucose. So there may be metabolism, metabolize the glucose that is present in mitochondria, and it will produce ATP. So this causes increased intracellular ratio of ATP and ADP that results in closure of this one. So what it is? It is the ATP sensitive potassium channel. Okay, so this one is having two binding sites. So one is this one, another is this one. So this binding site is for ATP, another one is for sulphonyl urea. So what do you know about potassium channel? Potassium channel is an ATP sensitive one. It is having two binding sites. So one is, this binding site is for ATP, this binding site is for sulphonyl urea. So that's why it is called as sulphonyl urea binding site. So that is sulphonyl urea receptor. Now after taking drug, this sulphonyl urea binds with the sulphonyl urea receptor and giving the same action as that of ATP. What happens? This ATP sensitive potassium channel that would be closed. So this causes depolarization of the cell and prevents the potassium from entering, and this opens the calcium channels. What about the calcium channel? This is a voltage gated one. So that's why, because of this depolarization, this would be opened. This calcium channel would be opened and leads to the influx of calcium ions. So this causes increased intracellular calcium and causes an alteration in the cytoskeleton and stimulates the translocation of insulin containing granules to the plasma membrane, and finally that would be released. So that is the mechanism of action of sulphonyl ureas.